It's Charlene White, Kelly Brook, Penny Lancaster and Mining Class.
Do you know what? I think Elon Musk...
You've met him before, haven't you?
I've met him once before, yeah. He was married to an actress that I've worked with. Very unique guy. Like, at the time, he wasn't well known. But you could definitely tell there was something kind of interesting. No surprise to me. I think he brought X to pretty much kind of fight wokeism involved in politics, and I think he's really supported Donald Trump throughout the whole election. And I don't think they look to celebrities more than they look to politicians move a narrative forward. And I think if you were watching or following the US and the elections, you know, we were all led to believe that Kamala Harris was just going to because the media is left, and you know that's kind of what we're led to believe. But if you were to look a bit more kind of Trump loving, you'll find that actually, Elon much geared towards that kind of blue-collar American audience, the working man. So and that's how he's won it, through podcasts and X and Twitter has pretty much won him the election.
But I think that, because and he's previously...
This country goes to, you're
a very wealthy man, and he does know a thing or two about business. So why wouldn't Trump go, well, look, you know about Make America's most money, especially European politics. We don't care about that now.
But then, but if we go back to...
he even...
When you said it to me, I was me vomit. Like, I hate it much. But I wouldn't mind that little setup in my garden.
Yeah, we like that. And I didn't know this.
Guys that kind of want to get my attention. And it was like this Greek fisherman, and he handed me some shells, and he was like, he's on a plane from Greece to come to my house to try and convince me to go and England, but lure me away from my
matches, eh?
It doesn't mean they're not smart in their own way.
That's exam-based, and the other universities are more coursework-based. Are so important because I do think that it just should be more known how much women can suffer. I know recently that, I was going into work, terrible migraines, and just like laying on my studio floor, just like in between links, because I didn't want to be judged. And, I was told success is just showing up. And I thought, even if I'm feeling absolutely in my body, the time it needs to just change. I think just like, I think it was only last month, I actually built how honest am I going to be? Do I say I've got a cold? Do I say I'm just not feeling well? Or do I just migraine? And I think it's like perimenopausally. And, just to kind of make that. And I do think about it on shows like that. I really do.
Because we're expected to...
Penny
afterwards, aren't we?
It's like I don't...
completely useless when it comes to numbers and maths.
No, but I think
it's like I get blind.
And you're going to be much more focused. 300...
2,000.
2,000.
In the media so much, and it seems to be in the past. And I did meet him once in Los Angeles, and I think he wants to be in sometimes. And I know we've all discussed it, wipe the board, that she was just going to come out on top, and Trump had no support. On, the other smaller platform, Donald and the Fox News were very fast. The Joe Rogan podcast, through X, he's pretty...
they want to find another way of practical. Although Andy's mum, Andy's fan mail, but guys...
It's never the partners I'm with. So one time I had someone knock on mumble something to me, and he'd basically been... but it was...
So a man that you were not with...
No!
It's like a stalker.
Oxford and Cambridge are the only university group where that fact is reversed. Men outperform women, which is really exactly.
Well,
so this is sort of said the structure encourage women to sail like at other universities,
and that's why these conversations for the last few years, suffering from growing up, 99.9% of the courage to email my boss, and I thought, say, sorry, I'm not coming in today. I've got to
work. Let's hope it does. But it does seem finally government changed the law, but it's just those little tiny glimmers for workplaces. And the Speaker of the House is talking about flexible hours or changing the uniform.
And I think for years...
I buy something online and for example, I bought some luggage and it arrived and it was for a doll's house. I can't take it on holiday. I'm like, oh, that would be all right. And I just press the button and it's a disaster.
But I think if you're planning a route to work, you're checking the bus timetable or the train and trying to work backwards, or...
something that's prescribed to people that are overweight to help them.
Well, prescribed to me, I take it because I'm the kind of person who should take it, but...
more women feel maths out or numbers anxiety.
When we get to the world, actually, the confidence is different. Dad and go, oh, don't worry, Dad will look up. This happens. If I got a pound every time that happened, you know what? Manage. The reality is the last thing they're concerned is about their child's maths.
The reality is, as Mylene said, all of us use maths in some... lose that anxiety and realise that they are better at maths than they think. Because it feels as though it's very male-focused, whereas if women can't understand.
Yeah, I think we include them in all the conversations.
What you have been talking about last time we were on is still going, but healthy. Was that connected to, you dealing with your...
Exercise, for example, depresses the glucose level. No, he's not diabetic.
Oh, wow. How did you find out that you were diabetic?
Simple blood test and went, yeah, you're diabetic. So, but for that, I'd have never known. In one sense, I'm
watching is that if you suspect...
You're not aware. And the test is a simple blood. If you do panto, there's lots of eyes. I love meat. So, yeah, I just...
Empower, Cal.
Gosh, quite a lot. How, celebrities can really help.
The current form of government doesn't work. People's lives are put into these government roles and raise a few eyebrows. I mean, Elon Musk is going to be more efficient. So should we be having people in...
HRT for menopausal women, you have and Davina McCall. We managed to one payment for entire year. So
and a lot of it, doesn't it, Marlene, has to do with lived experience.
We could all follow, then you just realise...
Let's make America strong. We care about making America great.
Sort of working with people that have experience. We have left a field when that appointment was made. So
not in any shape or form. My plans of a picnic in the park with candles into where we first met.
What I love about this is this would massively give you the ick, wouldn't it?
No, you left it like that. That is
what was really sweet? He got the kids.
That's really sweet.
So I had 2 burgers that day.
So deep with the romance, don't you?
We needs and what they like and just showing up for them and remember...
with you guys, and honestly, they only have eyes for each other.
Lady in red.
Well, you've just gone, nah.
If I've been in a relationship, it's gentleman. Nowadays, we would probably call it that, yeah.
Or in the workplace.
Well, luckily, it could have been promoted, like that similarly be applied to
girls. The periods can be horrendous.
Reasons that people cannot do exams. This is what
women outperform men in graduating with first.
Just to try and get the job done.
Is that when you're on your period?
Yes, horrendous. I've got to get to work. I've got to get there. I'm not allowed this. And in the media, and I'm reading about it, the things you've been doing with Davina. And I think that has given me the strength to do that. So thank you, because I would not...
We're so strong. This is the thing. We are when we're unified. And I just think there is this invisible thing about police uniforms.
Yeah.
There are so...
and feel like we're protected within our workplaces.
Oh.
We saw each other.
You've been with King Charles.
14 of their, armed police.
How was he? Because I think they're quite...
Gladiator. He stayed to the very end.
He's likely to do the bulk of household.
These evenings are the best examples of this. Keen, and they're like, oh, Mr. Seagull, please say good things about me. And
aren't you when it comes to... Marlene's amazing at it.
Things. I think it's so important to have, and why I'm saying turn the lights down. And it does.
Maths teacher, I love those, but in the real world, you need the practical maths.
Not just a times table, but just learning how to navigate things and look.
You're working backwards in time. You're a math
and talking to, rather than making it seem really...
You know that society's been run by men.
Must stop them winning money, yes.
The Beast. Where did the Beast come from, the name?
Well, it's very simple. My name's Lebet, which is French for the beast.
Well, there you go.
I have a 6'9".
Now, as you walked into the room early...
If you catch it early enough, it's very manageable when treated. I had a hyper or hypoglycemic episode. That's why I never got round to having the evening meals.
But how are you feeling now? Are you really feeling the benefits?
And... it's a continuous glucose monitor. This is a game changer because you can't... To make me go, because it's protein. And what I noticed was, so I had a big meal, level down now to the high end of normal, which is great. And hopefully they should take the bloods anyway and just go...
Yourself, though, on food types.
Doing panto this year at the Woodville Engraving. Well, let me give you a clue. I've now got to go, can't do that. Really
interesting about this guy. And there's an issue with celebs because I think that I do think that he knows that that's why he's in
federal budget. So should we be having people experience, for example, in order to be able to benefit others?
Well, like you say, experience is where it's at. Just looking a message to the wider audience at home.
But Elon Musk, going back to that, is a very...
of his experience working with those who've been in prisons before. Sweet and romantic, isn't it? Are you all for...
I'll be like, that is too work. And then I got home, and he'd done this. It didn't have to be romantic.
does it, to keep a relationship alive? It's just a pain.
By girls who had fallen in love with him.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Advice more than anything else. But Penny...
Position to help those that are dealing with leave the workplace. So those are being put...
It's just something we just have to just live like nothing is happening.
The tricky thing here is for those, the same jobs, eventually ending up in the same places, let's say, government.
This, we haven't yet heard back from them. But it's interesting.
With periods and perimenopause or menopause, it takes a lot out of us. And I'm aware, and I just sent it, and I felt so empowered because we're all talking.
Pause, you know, menstruation, everything. So we can have all these sort of invisible things. Audience such as you can help make those changes. All right, coming up at 1. Many happy.
Completely, I am actually. So I went to the palace and they've got that massive arm. Beep, beep, all the beeps were going off. And
I think part of it is to do with the stereotyping in our society, like enforcing perception in society, and I think we need to snap that up.
And they don't know why. So I've showed them, you know, I use past.
Are there enough families doing that?
Anything at maths.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so actually use coins. They don't know what it looks like.
And that must be really hard for you when it comes
in your house.
Absolutely.
And like when I'm on
geometry.
When I'm trying.
All of us here, because if you're cooking a meal and looking at the recipe, they're all mathematicians.
So how then do we sort of make it more... just because we'd love you to give us a bit of advice that's sort of watching us now. Grab yourself a pen.
Need a bit more room. You shouldn't play that music. I can feel my... And my son will be the baby. Healing up, and the nurse just looked and said...
Prescribe Ozempic to you, because that is now...
Well done, honestly.
Did you combine that with the food intake?
Realise, especially if you're a little bit older, just how to...
in order to be able to help, but also go for regular checkups.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, you would have had...
power over everybody else. But the reason I meant bars with nuts in, I can have something with a lot of...
Oh, there you go. It makes you happy, and that is...